Hey Narwhals, and welcome back to some more weight loss stories. Only a small percentage of our viewers actually subscribe. It's free and you can always change your mind later, so please tap subscribe to join the original 200k Narwhals. Has anybody on here successfully stopped emotional eating? And if so, how did you do it? Thanks. Just wondering if anyone can offer any tips or advice on how to stop emotional eating when dieting. I only diet every other day, so I try my best to avoid situations that may put me in a stressful mindset that will cause me to emotionally eat on those days. But yet stressful situations always seem to find me regardless, despite working from home and not even leaving my house. It just seems like stressful situations are just a part of my life, no matter what I do to avoid them, and it just seems nearly impossible for me to stick to my diet consistently when the stress just triggers my need to eat. Can others relate to any of this, and how do I overcome this? I'm so tired of the emotional roller coaster that I have with stress and food. I think if I can just find a way to stop turning to food when I'm stressed out, it would really play the biggest role in my taking off the weight and keeping it off. Thanks in advance for sharing any advice and tips that may have worked for you. For me, it was basically trying to stay in my room for a week straight when I had any free time whatsoever. Then 3 to 7 days being near the kitchen, open concept house, so I was in my living room chilling and not eating anything, like trying to train myself that just because I'm downstairs doesn't mean I need to eat. And then increasing to 4 to 7 days, 5 to 7, and then jumping to 7 to 7 days of being downstairs in free time and not eating. That, and just trying to think more about my emotions and sort of meditate on my couch while watching a show or something. Our emotional and psychological well-being is highly connected to how much/what we eat. I truly find it's far more than drinking increased water or fasting. When we feel better, we live better, thus eating better. Anxiety, stress, boredom, sadness, instability, anger, all are powerful emotions and will, without question, affect our emotional eating. I'm facing a crossroads myself and know I'd see more weight loss success with a calmer mind and far less anxiety, but getting there is a difficult process and everyone is different. I know for me, my life is pretty off balance right now. I'm exercising every day, lifting weights, walking miles and miles. I'm counting calories and have lost 21 pounds so far, but I'm stressed out. I'm not sleeping well and my anxiety is pretty high. I know I need to deal with the psychological aspects next, whether it's reaching out to a therapist or making more of an effort to meditate. It's not easy trying to balance it all, and sometimes our hyper-focus on getting to an exact weight loss goal can be counterproductive. It's a difficult life journey, sending you good vibes along the way. My dietitian told me to create a menu of things I enjoy or make me feel better that aren't food. Doing a full face of makeup, trying a new sheet mask, dancing to a YouTube video, painting my nails, etc. Then, when I get that emotion to eat, whether sad or happy, I can try to do something on this menu first to curb the emotional eating. It hasn't been perfect, but it has helped to start change those habits. I drink water if I'm feeling a stress hunger. I also recently started popping a few prunes in my mouth if I feel I must eat. They're tiny enough and filling to feel like I ate something substantial. I consistently run to help minimize stress, which I understand may be difficult for some, so maybe a walk would be better. The more difficult way I do it is I make myself wait until I feel I've emotionally calmed down, and then I see if I truly want to eat that thing still. And usually, it's no. I had a stressful day at work the other day. I just wanted to go home and slam some cheese. Once I got home, I totally forgot about cheese. Who am I? I remembered about the cheese when I was going to bed and I felt better knowing that I didn't blow my whole daily intake on one block of cheese. Stress relieved. It takes time, patience, and self-will, but it's doable. I'm a huge emotional eater, which is why I was obese. I finally beaten obesity, and I'm in the best health I've ever been in. Be kind, but be stern with yourself. Advice: there will be days and weeks where you have setbacks. Be kind and forgive yourself. Writing this mostly for catharsis, but maybe someone else will see this and benefit too. Last week was really bad for me from a personal and professional standpoint. I attended a house buying seminar that only served to remind me that that goal is out of reach for me in the next several years. I overloaded myself at work, both generally and relative to other known deadlines. This resulted in multiple nights of working past midnight, let alone feeling that I had time to do any exercise. Yes, I could have made time, but that's not the point here. The biggest thing I sacrificed was my well-planned food choices. I didn't have time to grocery shop, much less cook, or even the mindset to get together a delivery order from Prime. I re-downloaded Uber Eats and ordered delivery probably 5 different times. I drank way more alcohol than I should have, nowhere near my peak pandemic levels, but easily 2 times what I normally allow myself in a typical week. And on top of all this, it was also my real life birthday last week, and so a handful of my friends celebrated with me, and there was cake, and overeating, and more cake. So now what? I could punish myself by internalizing about how much I failed at basic organization and work-life balance, and restrict myself to less than 1,200 calories a day for a few days to balance out the excesses of last week. But that's unhealthy, and frankly, not how the human body works. Sure, I could probably draw some energy from the stored fat, but still I see myself being miserable, which will make me prone to straying again. I am going to instead forgive myself for the mistakes that I made, except that I'd probably set myself back a good 2 or 3 weeks of my hard work to date and spend today getting back on track. I took today off from work, slept in, and as soon as I finish this post, I'm going to go to the supermarket and restock my pantry with healthy options. I probably won't get a walk-in today, but I'm going to row for a while when I get back from the store. I also have a bit of house and yard work to do over the next few days. I'm the tenant who cares for my rented property. I do have leftover takeout from yesterday and cake, which will all be eaten today/tonight, but once it's gone, there won't be any more around to tempt me. I've got this. Anyone else a bit disappointed that they won't get to wow people with their weight loss? I put on most of my weight loss over the past year in lockdown, as a lot of people have, and the rest of it when I moved across the country 3 years ago. I hit a point in lockdown where I realized that's enough and decided to work towards losing it. So far, I have lost all my lockdown weight, and now I'm working on losing the weight that came with the stress of a huge lifestyle change, new job, starting my part-time degree, and moving to a completely new place where I knew nobody. The thing is, in lockdown, I've hardly seen anyone, and I didn't really see people very often once I moved either. So I'm a bit disappointed that once we come out of lockdown, I won't have had a glow up or something, and people who know me will just see me as I had always been. I'm definitely not losing the weight for other people. I wanted to go back to feeling my best, having energy, feeling confident, and being able to do things I enjoy like hiking without getting winded, etc. But sometimes just knowing other people see the huge effort you put in can be a great motivator. I guess I'm not looking for advice so much as wondering if I'm alone in feeling like that. Does anyone else feel the same? I was thinking about this earlier today. I put on so much weight during the pandemic, and now that I'm back to my pre-pandemic weight, it's almost like all my friends have no idea the personal challenges I've been through and conquered in the time we haven't seen each other. Saying that, I'm still happy I managed to get back on this track despite the determination cosmic forces have shown in continuing to attempt to ruin my life. Ultimately, I do this for me and no one else, but the reaction of friends and seeing your accomplishment just happens to be the icing on the still delicious cake. Yup, I get it. What I decided to do was take a few before pictures for myself and make myself a weight loss board that I will update with new pictures every few months as I lose weight. Eventually, in a year or 2, I should be at my goal weight, and I'll have picture proof of myself shrinking, and it makes me feel incredibly proud of myself for how far I've come. I also have 2 jars filled with marbles, one labeled pounds to go and one labeled pounds lost. My pounds lost jar has 10 marbles in it so far. It's nice to have validation from other people, but I think the most important person to impress is yourself. Happiness comes from within. However, if you track your progress with pictures, you can post before and afters on social media and can wow people with it later. For what it's worth, this internet stranger is proud of you and your progress. I totally get this. I've been working in a small office all but 2 months of this pandemic. I definitely gained like 15 pounds and it showed in my face. The double chin was the final straw, but you couldn't see it in a mask at least. So I've been losing weight since October and I'm down 35 pounds. But no one has noticed because of the mask and I haven't bought any new clothes yet. I guess I dress a bit frumpy, but damn it, my pants are sagging and loose. I have to wear a belt now, and no one has said anything or noticed. Again, I don't need the validation, I am doing this for me, and my hubs gets the side effect of a happier and more confident wife, but it still stings a little. I'm happy with the wow from the mirror, but in despite of being isolated because of COVID, I'm very unemployed. I encounter plenty of people I know from the neighborhood while walking my dog, If asked, I share all the tips I'm asked because after 20 kilos, people noticed and commented. Also, in my old job, only a few people commented about my weight loss, except a couple of coworkers who wanted to lose weight while continuously eating trash and saying all my suggestions were wrong. Like I do care. And that brings us to the end, Narwhals. And please tap subscribe to join the original 200k Narwhals. And lastly, here's our featured Narwhal of the day. Getting ready for summer.